and fresh inspiration, whether it's through the stories of our guests or discussions on topics like pricing, marketing, and more. I'm one of your hosts, Jason Call, owner of Handyman Marketing Pros. I'm joined by my co-host, Alan Lee, who coaches handyman business owners at the Handyman Journey, as well as owning Honestly Handyman Services based out of Northern California. You can learn more about our show, free webinars and training, marketing services, coaching, CRM software, and basically anything that can help your handyman business. We've got that for you at handymansuccess.net. We also invite you to join us in our private Facebook group, the Handyman Journey Mastermind. That's our intro. Now let's get to it. Whether you're patching drywall, sitting in the office, or making your third run to Home Depot, we invite you to pull up a chair and sit with us on another episode of the Handyman Success Podcast. Today's guest is Jason Havstad. I probably just butchered that name, man, even though you just told me, so I apologize for that. Jason, if you could give us a little snapshot about you, about the business. What's your business name, where you're located, and if you could go ahead and just explain, like, how did you start your handyman business?
Yeah, so my name's, like you said, Jason, business name, Platinum Handyman Solutions. I'm out of Ventura County, so kind of a big range of different clients I serve. So ranging from like Malibu to Beverly Hills, the San Fernando Valley. I tend to like to focus most of my jobs within about a 30-minute drive. So I do a lot of work, Moore Park, Thousand Oaks, Westlake Village. Those are like some pretty high-end areas. As far as the name, it's not really that interesting of a story. I was trying to figure out a name about a year and a half ago when I first started, and I was kind of struggling because a lot of the stuff I was picking had already been selected. So when I worked in banking, I remember they had like a platinum membership package there when I was at the credit union there. And so I kind of was thinking, like, okay, maybe I can fit platinum into this. And so I was looking at like Platinum Handyman Services, and that had already been picked. And so I also watch a lot of Dave Ramsey, and his business is Ramsey Solutions. So I thought, let me check Platinum Handyman Solutions. And, I was like, I don't think anyone's going to have that. It's kind of unique. And so that worked. That ended up being my name, and I like it. I've had some compliments on it. And right now it's just me. I do mostly small jobs. So my typical day will be anywhere from 2 or 3 jobs usually. And I have a lot of repeat clients, and I'm just trying to grow every day. And so I think that's like a good snapshot of where I'm at right now.
Awesome. Let's see. How long have you been full-time? And if you don't mind kind of sharing, like, because you're so dang new, like any kind of like rough revenue numbers, as far as kind of giving our viewers a snapshot of kind of where you're at solo, full-time, and also just for our listeners, he's in the California. This is all in the state of California, in the Simi Valley area. So, so if you could go ahead and kind of just jump into that for us, man.
Yeah, so the story's kind of long, so I'm going to just do a bunch of cliff notes here. So I'm actually on, I guess, like my 4th career. So I was in banking for 10 years. I was in investments for about half that. I didn't really like it. So during that 5 years in investments, I was actually trying to become a police officer. And so took 5 years of trying. Nobody wanted to hire me. I was just kind of struggling. I gave up. Got into security. I was actually doing bodyguarding out in Beverly Hills a lot. Did that for about 5 or 6 years. After 2019 and 2020, COVID hit, George Floyd hit, and they were short police officers. So I said, I'm gonna try one more time. Thankfully, that was it. I actually did get hired by CME I thought that was going to be the career for me. Lasted about 6 months. Their training program was kind of in shambles, and I got the brunt end of that. And so I got back into security. I was working nights. I was actually doing a lot of work around the house. I was doing like security cameras, Ring doorbell, new faucets. So I was like always watching videos on these night shifts. I hated working nights. I actually stumbled into Alan's videos. That's actually kind of where the story began. So this would have been 2024. And I was watching Alan's videos, and I actually had a handyman too. And so I would only give him the stuff that I was like, yeah, I really don't want to mess with that. And so the long story short is I kind of got to thinking, how can I get out of these night shifts and drive into Beverly Hills every day? And how can I like maybe turn this into a job? I'm looking at the guy doing my handyman work and he's literally Chuck. Like that's Chuck. Like I hired Chuck. And so I'm like, I know I could do a better job. And no offense, because he's an awesome guy. Like he's such a nice guy and he'll show up and he'll want to talk to you for like 45 minutes. And I'm like, dude, I'm on my way out. But so that's kind of what started the whole journey, if you will. And basically, like I said, I was watching Alan's his vlogs, and I kind of got inspired by that. And so I was thinking, like, I wonder what it would take for me to start something. And so this would have been like around March or April. I actually started my business while I was doing security or bodyguarding there. And
What year?
so this was April 2024. I started the LLC, and basically I was just trying to do like the Ramsey approach, like just like ease my way into it to kind of see, is there work available? What kind of, money can I really expect in my area? That kind of thing. And so on a sidebar, I had a buddy who was a general contractor out in Malibu who, once I told him about everything I was doing, he kind of was like, hey, I could use some help. So I actually left security.
Trisha has 6 kids, all with chronic illnesses. That means more specialty prescriptions, more screenings, and more in-person checkups. But CVS Health supports Trisha with all that and more. CVS Health. Healthier happens together.
Looks like you have a big problem.
I was like, hey, I could use some help. So I actually left security to go work for him for a few months, thinking that might be something where I could learn a lot working for a contractor. And I still had my business. I had done at that point maybe like half a dozen jobs. Really, truly learned that I didn't really know what I was doing, but I was learning each and every day how to get better, whether it's pricing or just acquiring the right tools, that kind of thing. So anyway, I worked for him. It actually kind of just fell apart because he hired me as like a project manager, which I didn't agree with, but that's really what he wanted me for. And so it kind of fell apart. And so basically, fast forward to like August of last year, I was basically unemployed, but I had my business and I had already done a few jobs. And I was thinking to myself, like, why not just try to go full time right now? Like, it's not ideal. Like, so I was actually looking for work. I was actually like applying for jobs, but I wasn't getting a ton of traction. So I just was kind of thinking to myself, like, I'm going to just hit this like as hard as I can. So I got some business cards made, got some magnets for the car. And within about 2 weeks, things started progressing pretty quickly, probably because I was priced too low, which, again, I learned from Alan. I think I was at that time maybe around $45 to $50 an hour. I was getting a good amount of work, good amount of calls, but by no means was I like doing really well. Like I was just taking a lot of jobs that I really didn't know if I would even be able to do it or not. But that was basically when I went full time, to answer that question. But yeah, I did go part time in April, and so from April to August was part time, and then from August to December was full time. But I will say too that I took December off to do a trip to Europe. So all of December, there's no revenue. And that even, I think, affected me a little bit going into January. So I think that will kind of catch you up in terms of like the last 5 to 10 years, how I went from investment banking to being a full-time handyman.
Hey, let me interrupt this episode real quick. I want to talk to handymen out there who are just pulling their hair out because there's so much stuff to do in this handyman business. Running a business is already tough enough, and your software shouldn't make it harder to run. So I want to introduce you to the Handyman Champion CRM app. It's designed specifically for handyman, not plumbers, not roofers, but handymen. With it, you can schedule jobs, you can create estimates, you can create invoices, you can get paid right on the spot, and keep everything in one simple app. So stop piecing together random tools and start getting the app that's built for you. You can grab your free 30-day trial at handymanchampion.com.
Dude, that's awesome. This is like, banker, investment, turn security, turn police officer, and then now you're a handyman. Like, this is so cool. So I'd love to hear a little bit about, that when you decided to go full time in August 2024, and then you said you got some magnets and some business cards, and then it took like 2 weeks and then calls started coming in. Like, was there anything that you did in those 2 weeks that helped kind of launch this puppy? And like, did you make posts on Facebook? Did you go door to door? Like, what were the things that you would attribute like the calls started coming in during those 2 weeks?